by Waltons this afternoon, and we're going to have also the assistance of the Penrith Club patron sitting beside me right at this moment, the Honourable Ron Mulock, Minister for Justice, who of course is a very dedicated Penrith fan, and Ron will be saying hello to everyone at half time. I'm going to ask Ron to talk to me about the proceedings in this under-23s match at the half-time break, and Ron of course hopefully we'll be able to talk about how far in front the Panthers are, and not how many points they've got to make up to reach to make it a winning day. Jack Clair at 2, headphones on and ready to make a comment, and I think I might talk to Jack right now. It's a splendid afternoon for rugby league, or a splendid morning for rugby league. Going to be a great day. Some sparse cloud in the sky. It's not going to affect conditions though. I think it's nigh on perfect in fact, and the ground is packed to the hilt virtually, except in the reserve stands where people will take their time coming along. After all, that's what they paid their money for. But I think those that haven't reached their reserve seats are doing themselves a certain disfavour at this stage, because they're going to miss one of the best matches of the season in my estimation anyway. One promises to be one of the best, and that's this clash between Penrith's first ever grand final team, the history-making under-23s, and Western Suburbs, who have powerhoused their way into this grand final. They're a great outfit, Western Suburbs. Before I saw them go around last weekend, I was quite sure that Penrith had the measure of every other team in the competition. But I wasn't so sure after I saw Western Suburbs finish with Parramatta last Saturday afternoon. It's going to be one heck of a grand clash of rugby league. Back in a moment to talk to Jack Clair.
Very upset down here, Frank. He's just about to run on with them.
He'll be right.
There any changes in numbers?
No, we haven't heard it.
No, we haven't heard any. That's the trouble with this. You're isolated up here. These blokes in the PA's next door, ground PA, they don't get it all. Still no program, fellas, so I hope you're getting us. Col Crow, the top tech, was there, and he said we'll get the up program anyway. We may have to fiddle around to get you the down program, so we'll get you the up. We'll get you on straight away.
They couldn't hear anything, Frank?
No, nothing doing. It's Telecom's fault. They've got everything patched up properly.
It's on every week.
Yeah,
it's crazy, isn't it?
20 seconds to go. $20 seconds. Less now. Four seconds. Ready, Jack? Well, good afternoon, Jack Clair, and welcome again to the last one for the year.
Hi, Frank.
Jack,
glorious day.
Got a little card here we might just talk about before we talk rugby league. It says Northside Paper Company Pty Limited, John Jack Clair Manager, 10 Kilray Place, Hornsby. God bless you, mate. You're out on your own these days, I tell
Frank,
you.
that's me. I'm up there amongst the nice people.
You'll have to start getting home a bit before 3 o'clock in the morning, mate, though.
Put my weights up, Frank. I was doing some preliminary work in fostering a few new customers.
I see. And you're in the wholesale paper distributors and importers business, not strictly paper, bags, wraps, plastic containers, serviettes, doilies, twines, tapes, toilet papers and towels. Love that combination, Jack. And if anyone wants to get hold of Jack Clair, of course, a rugby league identity around Sydney for many, many years, give him a ring at, well, a long time ago now, Jack, of course. Get him on his business phone at 476 6656, or at home, he doesn't mind you answering the phone, even at 3 o'clock in the morning. You'll catch Jack up and about, 727 5121. I know Roger won't mind me giving an old hand, my mate Jack Clair, that plug. Jack, great scene set here for this afternoon's grand final. Plenty of people about already, and a beautiful day.
Wonderful, Frank. They're always a great occasion, these grand finals. I wouldn't miss them for anything, even though you have to get me out of bed for listening. The stage is set for a great day anyway for Penrith, we hope. It's the first grand final of any Penrith side here, and I think my hopes and wishes go with what's the population out there, Frank?
Oh, Ron might be able to throw it in. Many.
The district, 150,000.
150,000. I hope they're all listening today, and I hope they all get the big thrill we hope to get here with Penrith in front when the bell goes, Frank.
Yeah, I'd say over 200,000 we'd have out, Jack, there. Ron's Ron's just amending his facts and figures, $250,000 he
It's a
tells
great
us.
area, and this will do tremendously good for the area, for the football club. I think it's something like this that Penrith need to really get on their feet, Frank.
I think so, Jack. I think a win today is going to give them that club tradition. It's going to start the club tradition that they've longed for the last decade.
Of course, and this is where they've got to start. You know, if they get a young side like this that's gallantly fought their way to the grand final, I think they've been front runners all the season, haven't they?
Yes. No, they came. Actually at midway they were just out of the final 5, and they came good at the right time as the second half of the draw came to a close. That's when Penrith came good. Finished well. They finished very well.
Well, they're finishing well now because the other day, the last game that they played here against Parramatta, they started off very well, went like a train for about 20 minutes, and then Parramatta got on top, didn't they? And we thought at that stage, well, poor old Penrith had dipped out again, but the young fellows fought back well, and it was a great victory. I'm a bit apprehensive about this West side. They're a very strong side, Frank. They're strong in all departments. They've got brilliant backs with a lot of experience there in that young Alan Neal, who has played a lot of first grade. A very smart side, fast, good, strong forwards. But I think with the will to win there, you've got some great little players there in that Trevor Grant. He's very fast. If Ian Maurice or whoever out there has the lassos, get it on him and hold him down and keep him there, there'll be something wrong. That Kevin Lang, of course, I know very well. He's a brilliant footballer on his day. I hope this is his day. I have a lot of respect for him. He's a natural footballer. And that young Foster's a great little player. Stevie Martin, another great player. They've got plenty of brilliance there with the experience of Ray Blacklock and Ken Wolfe. I think they can hold them, Frank, and I sincerely hope so.
Righto, Jack, and I agree with you. And some of those players you mentioned, by the way, are boys out of the President's Cup side who came into the team after President's Cup finished in early July, and therein lies the difference. And that's when their performances started to pick up. And I talk about Stevie Martin, the hooker, Henry Foster at half-back, and Trevor Grant, of course, on the wing. Great players, and they have been that little bit of difference to this Penrith 23s combination. Righto, well, things are just about ready to start, I'd say, any moment from now. We don't have a referee on the paddock as yet, but everyone else is here. Back in just a moment to have a look at both of these under-23 grand final sides.
You want to speak?
No?
You want to speak?
No, I don't need that.
No, you don't. No. Good.
Once they've got me, Jack, then I'm right. Well, they've got me up the program.
Yeah.
That's only if I want to talk to them, talk back to them on their, on this line.
Good.
Who's referee? McDonald.
McDonald. He's thinned off a bit, hasn't he? McDonald's thinned off a bit.
.45 from now.
I'd like to tell that Kevin Langland to get out in the sun a bit more. He looks like an Englishman with those white legs, doesn't he?
Yeah, doesn't he?
Nice build for a 5'8".
25 from now.
Is he?
In that
That's what we
AMCO
need.
field business,
That's what we need.
he's a brilliant.
Sharp 5'8".
They all there, Terry?
And a good centre.
Just check the numbers out, Cliff, for me, will you? 10 to go. Righto, that's it. 5 to go.
He's an actual footballer. He's a great player.
Here we go.
In fact,
Right, on the Penrith side reads like this afternoon, and they're out in the middle of the cricket ground, I'd say, with a great deal of butterflies going on at the moment, and every one of those 13 players. Wayne Seaton at fullback, Ken Wolfe and Trevor Grant on the wings, Ray Blacklock captain in the centre, and a very deserving honour to this fine young player and a loyal Penrith clubman too, Ray Blacklock. Phil Doyle accompanying Ray Blacklock in the centres. Plenty of experience with Ray Blacklock too, and occasional lapses in handling sometimes when he charges onto the ball at a furious rate. Reminds me of David Appleby at his heyday at the end of the 60s with Penrith, but certainly a very dangerous and competent player, Ray Blacklock, and could be a big part of the Penrith victory this afternoon. Kevin Langdon at lock at 5'8", Henry Foster at half-back, and Warren Fenton at lock. Tim Armitstead and Wayne Ducker at second rows, Doug Riley, Mick Power and Steve Martin in the front row, and the Western Suburbs side just coming out now, Peter Walsh fullback, Bob Stutfield and Rogers on the wing, Marshall Rogers, Ken Burt and Bill Pearce. Fine centre combination, those two in the centres. Gary Clark, another fine performer at 5'8", Alan Neal at half, Peter Lima, captain and lock, Paul Horton and Timone, Steve Timone in the second rows, Tom Arbour, Brian Cook and Dave Kennedy make up the front row three for Western Suburbs. Well, Lockdown McDonald's got them in centre field, and Western Suburbs have lost the toss and they're going to kick off. Western Suburbs will be running from the Randwick end. They'll be defending the Randwick end, running towards us here in our MA Noble Stand broadcasting box. That's the Paddington end, of course, and Penrith, therefore, running towards Randwick and defending the Paddington end. Ball is on the mound, and fullback Walsh is up to start the play for West. There it goes, ball in the air, long deep 1-2, straight back to Seaton, who makes no mistake with it and gets it immediately into the hands of young lock forward Fenton into centre field, and where he's been put to ground. By the way, the best under-23s player today, as well as winning the usual Martin Wells Sunglasses Award, is going to pick himself up the courtesy of Waltons. A beautiful camera. It's a Zenit EM camera, valued at almost $150 with 35mm single lens reflex, and that's coming from Waltons and 2KA. Well, the ball has been lost by Penrith, and Western Suburbs have an opportunity, 22 metres out now, taking possession of that lost ball, being played to 5'8" Clark. Clark looking for his forwards there, and there's a penalty going immediately against Penrith. Offside right in front of the goalpost. McDonald blowing the whistle, and that's going to give the Magpies a good start with 2 points, and 2 points crucial in a grand final, of course. 2 points this early, and it's only minutes into the game. 35 minutes each way to be played, no time off for injuries, and 4 replacements allowed in under-23 football. Who's kicking, gentlemen? Can you pick him up, the fullback? It is Peter Walsh. Peter Walsh has the honour of doing the kicking for Western Suburbs, and from right in front, almost in front anyway, just a little almost directly in front of the right upright. Shouldn't be any trouble, of course, for this lad, I shouldn't think, if he's worth his salt as a kicker, to pick up the 2 points and give Western Suburbs an invaluable lead after 2 minutes of play. Offside penalty against Penrith. There he goes, no mistake with it. It's over the black dot, and we've got a start here already in the under-23s match, with West leading Penrith by 2 points to 0. I hope you're getting us, fellas. We've still got nothing of you down here at all. No program whatsoever yet down the line. We're into the action. We'll just keep the broadcast going and pick you up as soon as we can, but we'll do something about it before the first grade. Boys there, 13. 5 to go. 2 seconds. There we go. Right, Western Suburbs in possession from the kick-off from the centre field. Ball lost now, and the scrum to go down inside of Western Suburbs' halfway mark there towards their quarter line, just on the outside of their quarter line towards the scoreboard hillside. Scrum to be set, fed there by halfback Alan Neal, the experienced player in the Western Suburbs lineup, played first grade a number of occasions. Penrith trailing by 2 points after 2 minutes with that penalty against them. Won by Martin, though, that one. It's from Henry Foster out quickly to Langdon into Blacklock's hands. Blacklock's, though, caught by both the opposing centres, Burke and Pearce, and held up. He'll play the ball outside the quarter line. Armistead running wide towards the scoreboard touchline, put to ground short of the quarter line. Western Suburbs into the ground, fed by Martin there, straight into the arms of Doug Riley. Doug Riley coming on the burst, put to ground just on the quarter line, though. He'll play it to Martin again, this time to Ducker getting up ahead of steam, but not able to evade the tackle of the front row from Western Suburbs. Arbour first in to put him to ground. Back it goes to Seaton, in the air this time from Seaton. Good one too, coming in the in-goal area. It's got Lima under a lot of pressure. It's on here. There's two. Oh, Kenny Wolf had his hands to the ball, and it was just knocked out of his hands at the last moment. but it wouldn't have counted anyway. There's an offside going against the Penrith backs in following that kick through. Right on Western Suburbs line. That's got him off the hook, but that was a beautifully placed up and under from Langdon. Or a beauty, and it bounced just right for Penrith too, but offside the backs in following the kick through, and McDonald, a no-nonsense but very capable referee, picked it up immediately. I heard a comment from someone well up in the Sydney Referees Association the other night, no names, no pack drill, claims that McDonald is the best referee of all of them at the moment going around. He said there's no frills on him, he doesn't attract the attention of the crowd, but he knows the game, knows his rules, and applies them religiously throughout. So there you are, there's a wrap for Don McDonald, who has control of the under-23s. West now in possession with the ball from that penalty kick inside their own quarter line, feeding it out along the back line. The winger Bob Stutfield waiting for it to come to him, but the centre dragging the touch there, and so the scrum to go down on the Western Suburbs quarter line. That's where Penrith need to keep them, trailing 2 points of course from a penalty in the second minute of the match. The touch judge is in too, and it looks like Fenton is going over. I think Fenton is being called out. Just Fenton, none of the Western Suburbs players, so we wait and see whether McDonald finds it serious enough to warrant penalty. No penalty, scrum going down, and the ball to be fed there by halfback Neil. Neil coming up with the ball too, getting out along the Western Suburbs back line, and it's been lost by centre Burke and snapped up by Penrith. They're in possession. Blacklock the boy right on the job, 20 metres out underneath the goal post, so a chance for Penrith to pick up the points. Foster getting it onto Seaton, coming into the back line at a rate of knots too, but put to ground, and a good tackle there by the Western Suburbs lock forward. On it goes then to second to front rower Doug Riley, using his weight and bulk to try and push his way past Arbour, but put to ground by his opposing front rower. Ducker this time, it's a scissors movement, going the blind side, lifted bodily off the ground there by Brian Cook, the front rower for Western Suburbs. Blind side again, Martin running from dummy half, going towards the scoreboard corner, a matter of about 5 metres out. Last one for Penrith, back inside to Foster. Foster coming across field towards the goal post, or he's evaded about 6 tackles. He could go in on his own, Foster. Oh, dragged down just by the shirt tail, only a metre out and right in front of the goalpost. He got out of tackle after tackle. Jack, how do you see it after 5 minutes?
He's only a little fellow, and he must have beaten 6 tackles there.
Okay, and there's the scrum fed, but not to McDonald penalising Penrith again. Feed across the scrum, right under West goalpost. Well, that's got them off the hook again. I say 6 minutes, actually it's just on 10 minutes of play. Coming up to 10 minutes of play now, with Western Suburbs leading by 2 points to 0. And Western Suburbs gaining some ground with that penalty kick from just outside their own try line. They've gained about 15 metres, tap to be taken, and with 10 minutes of play gone here in this under-23s grand final, West leads Penrith by 2 points to 0. Try and sort out some of these Western Suburbs players by now. Cook and Arbour are the front rows, Kennedy hooking. Kennedy at dummy half, and Scott the Beard.
There
20 seconds to go. There we go. Penrith in possession now, 22 metres out with the ball again on the hill on the scoreboard side. Martin at dummy half, running on his own. The gap appeared. He's through it too, past 3 defenders. Oh, he's a great little bloke, this fella. Right up to fullback Lima, Walsh, I should say, who had to force to take the tackle on Walsh. Martin about 5 metres out. Foster now out to Langdon. There's the try on. Seaton's going to pick it up in the Sheridan Hill corner. What a beauty! Sheridan put through the gap beautifully and diagonally for the Sheridan Hill corner. Able to score the try. They look good, Penrith, Jack.
Great try. I think I don't like to push this little fella's name too often, but I think Kevin Langdon put him through there with a delayed pass. A great move. Rather than a try about 5 metres from the corner post.
So Penrith take the lead over Western Suburbs now after 13 and a half minutes of play, with Seaton the opportunity to convert that try, and of course there was conjecture about who would be custodian for Penrith in this match. Young Graham Jennings club president's son, who's played superbly throughout the season after coming out of the President's Cup, was the positional player selected in this in the finals and so on. But Seaton, I think, because of his ability to kick a little stronger from further out than Jennings, may have got the nod. A very sharp player too, Seaton, both budding champions in their own right in my opinion, but perhaps for that reason Seaton has got the nod, but I dare say we'll see young Jennings in the game at some stage. But that was Seaton splitting the defence there after Langdon hung onto the pass a second to give him the gap, and using all his speed, a very leanly and strongly built boy Seaton, straight diagonally from centre field about 15 metres out to score near corner flag. Here's the kick coming up. Put to it. Oh, not a bad effort either from the boy, but it's gone to the front of the goal posts, and so Penrith, after 15 minutes of play, lead Western Suburbs by 3 points to 2. There's 60-second advert. They were 90 there, 60 seconds. So only have 8 minutes football. Oh. Well, the clock must have run wrong. She's 10 minutes on the clock. They started 5 past on the clock.
Started at 10:11 by me.
No. They started on the 5-minute mark.
Yes,
Yeah, that'd be
did.
right. 2:35.
I don't know. So you stick to your watch if you're using it. You just stick to it. That's all right. 20 seconds to go. We've got no program yet. Down the line. May have us up the line. We should go on with this for the sake of the TV. 5 to go. 2 now. Western Suburbs in possession from a kick put through by Penrith. Not a good kick though. There's a second row of Western Suburbs, Timone, coming through on the burst with the ball, put down by Fenton and Martin, getting it on now to front rower Cook, big burly bloke. This fellow throwing his weight into the Armistead too, but Armistead up to the job, putting him to ground. Out along the Western Suburbs backs, Kenny Wolf coming off his wing to claim Bill Pearce, the centre for Western Suburbs, before they could get into motion. On the halfway line, West in possession, and the Penrith defence swarming all over Arbour as he tried to come through with the ball. Passed out by Kennedy to halfback Lima, looking for support, or he's found it too there. As halfback Neil, I should say, has found it as Walsh came on from the back line. Ball has been played out along the forwards into the hands of Horton, the second rower for West, put down about 30 metres out. It's the last one for Western Suburbs, and fed through the hands of halfback there to Neil. A break too for Western Suburbs, coming out wide with the winger heading for the corner flag. He's thrown it back straight into the hands of Foster. Wing 3/4 Stutfield put the ground in a flying tackle by Fenton right on the corner flag, threw the ball back inside desperately, picked up there by Foster coming across in cover defence, but a foot had gone into touch. And so a scrum to be fed, and just outside the Penrith try line, won by Penrith. Foster trying to weave his way through between the Western Suburbs lock forward and second row coming out of the scrum, but put down 10 metres out. Fenton taking the ball and charging upfield almost to the quarter line. Diagonal run across the face of the ruck, being caught though finally. Western Suburbs have got Peter Walsh standing up in the back line. Penrith can notice that. They can take some advantage of it surely. On their own quarter line now with the ball being played back to Ducker. Second rower Ducker at dummy half, and Ducker getting it away to Riley. Riley swung to ground though by Cook. Front rower for West. Back to Seaton on his own quarter line. Foot to it. And Stutfield has gone back to pick it up magnificently. A long kick too from Seaton, grabbed magnificently, plucked out of the air over the top of his head on his fingertips on his own quarter line. So West's in possession just outside of halfway. Oh, gap there, and it's been found too by the halfback, and he's got the centre. He's got centre Burke away on a long, strong run. Oh, there was defence lacking in the close ranks there for Penrith, and West back on the attack strongly. 22 metres out on the quarter line. It's Bill Pearce, the other centre this time. Two strong lads being dragged to the ground. 22 metres out. Back it goes to Arbour. Then on to lock forward Lima, trying to weave his way through. 10 metres short of the try line. Put down by Martin. He'll play it there with Kennedy feeding it on to Cook, using his weight again. Put to ground though. Right under the goal post, about 5 metres out. He's played the ball. It's the last one coming up for them. A little chip there from halfback Neil over the goal post, but Seaton well and truly had it covered as he turned his back on the Western Suburbs players following the ball, took it safely. And so Penrith now to restart play with a drop goal from underneath the goal posts.
Penrith flank, they'll have to tighten up their defence. They're not tackling well at all.
Big gap up the centre there, Jack, at that occasion. And Neil took advantage of it with his experience. There's Seaton's kick right back to halfway, and it's gone into the arms of Walsh. A bit awkwardly taken, but he's made sure of it, and back upfield, almost to the quarter line, allowed too much latitude to run there before being put to ground. He'll play it now to Kennedy, the hooker for Western Suburbs. Forwards coming on the burst for the ball. Horton it is. Gary Clark out of the game. That's 5'8 Clark replaced by Cole already in the Western Suburbs side. Cole replacing 5'8 Clark. There's Cook again using Neil in the run around, and the ball's gone out wide to Clark. It is, I think, to Cole it was, who got himself coming into the action there. Winger this time Stutfield from dummy half position, bringing the ball in field to Penrith's quarter line in front of the members stand. McDonald's hand up for the last one. Neil with the ball. Oh, a lot of experience this lad's showing, Jack. You're right about it. That was a beautiful pass.
Yes,
and
delayed pass is a beautiful thing.
Neil G'ing up the side, but the player picking up that delayed pass, running into the arms of Fenton, and the scrum to go down right in front of the Penrith goalposts about 15 metres out. It's Foster to feed, of course, and McDonald coming in to talk to the forwards. Fed now won beautifully by Martin, in and out like a rocket, and into the arms of Fenton from Foster quickly too, but Fenton not able to get more than 3 or 4 steps. The fullback Walsh still up in that back line, 22 metres out. This time it's Martin trying to push off the front rower Cook coming over the top of him, but he's been put down by Cook and Kennedy. Front row and hooker there, 22 metres out. Blacklock at dummy half, a long pass to Fenton out wide in front of the Paddington Hill. He's got it away to Grant. They're trying to use the fast flankman, but Grant no doubt is well marked there by Western Suburbs. He'd be the danger man they've all been thinking about, and he was caught quickly and put to ground. Oh, almost it looked like a shepherd to me, but the ball didn't go from Ducker's hands. It's gone now to Langdon from the dummy half position. On halfway, a long kick. Langdon's used his brains. Nobody at home there with Walsh still up in the back line, or too far up anyway, behind the head there of winger Stutfield. It's gone into touch and put Penrith in an attacking position if they can pick this one up from the scrum inside the quarter line. Looking good in attack, Jack, but as you say, a little flimsy in defence.
Yes, that's the type of thing, though, you can expect from this Langdon. He's got every phase of the game in his make-up front.
And here's a chance for Penrith from that scrum, a penalty going against the Western Suburbs half. Neil, who's questioning McDonald. McDonald telling him very tersely too what went wrong there. And Seaton from about the same position, same angle as the attempted conversion of the try, but a little closer by about 8 metres, maybe more. 8 metres in and right on the quarter line, so the distance not so great. The angle, though, still fairly sharp.
What sort of a kicker is he, Frank?
Good kicker. Good kicker, I think.
It's a great opportunity.
I think he's been brought into the side because his kicking is a little more reliable than Graham Jennings. A little stronger than Graham Jennings, I think. And just take a moment to put the minute in there, Terry. The minute will happen. That's all right. Leave it as it is now. But put the minute.
He's got a much better angle in with this one, hasn't he?
Yes, he's got a better, not so much distance, and I think that will enable him to concentrate on the accuracy of the kick. He was so far out before, he had both distance and accuracy to worry about. So that whilst the angle's much the same, he's got a closer range. This time to it. Good kick too. Oh, I think he's made a beauty of that one over the black. Got a ripper. And so Penrith now go ahead to lead Western Suburbs with 18 minutes to go to half-time by 5 points to 2. Terry, just put the minute in there as you're doing it. There's the kick-off from Western Suburbs, and it's gone back to Wolf on his own try line. Wolf is going to head infield across the face of his goal mouth, 10 metres out, straightening up now, but he's running into trouble as replacement player Cole gets hold of him. He'll play it to Fenton, getting up off the ground, 15 metres out. Cricket ground in good condition considering the frosty winter we've had. There's been some cold snaps of dry, frosty weather, and it soon burns off the grass. Dry, of course, with little or no rain over the last week. Armistead taking the pass and straightening up the attack, almost getting to halfway, gone onto the bulleye soil patch anyway. Must be pretty rugged out there too, I'd say. Foster getting a long pass, trying to step his way through the Western Suburbs defences, but Lima closing the gap, putting him to ground with second rower Timone. He'll play it to Martin, and Martin feeding it back inside to Ducker. Ducker trying to hurdle 3 or 4 players there. That's a dangerous practice. Timone, the bloke, got underneath him though, right on halfway. Martin again, feeding it out to front rower Riley. Riley putting it over the top of the blindside defence. Oh, beautiful kick from front rower Riley there. He just left Walsh hopelessly stranded as the ball took off on absolutely brilliantly fast legs from about 15 metres infield, and Walsh no chance of picking it up as it scuttled over the touchline in front of the scoreboard. So there's a chance for Penrith now on the attack in that position. Scrum being fed. Won by Martin, but yes, coming up in Foster's hands, a little bit tricky getting hold of it, but Foster's got it now, and he's put Grant through the gap, and Langdon, Langdon by the bootlaces, he could score though. I think Langdon has crawled over on his hands and knees. They're going to tear this Western Suburbs side apart. Langdon has gone in to score the try, so that Penrith now head to it. I'd say Trevor Grant to be given some of the commendation there. Grant's burst into the back line from the blind side, got hooked up in a half tackle. It stopped, he halted his progress, but he was able to slip the pass, and Langdon got around a tackle of the same kind that the half got him, and he scabbled over to score the try. Well, Jack, they're looking good, aren't they?
Frank, that was tremendous. First of all, the ball was delayed getting out of that scrum. I thought they were going to lose it. A little fella picked it up in a bad position, skirted around the scrum, eluded a couple of tacklers, gave the ball to Langdon, who I thought had fallen over anyway, and was a bad pass. He picked it up nicely and got around the fullback to just get over, and it was a great try. If they can kick this goal, they've got to really hammer this Western Suburbs now and take the advantage.
I'll say, and after 25 minutes of play, or 20 minutes of play, is it, Terry? What are we at? 25. No, 20 minutes of play. It's 5 minutes behind the clock here, 35 minutes each way. 20 minutes of play and 8-0 lead already. Seaton's 8-2 lead. Seaton with a chance to make it 10-2, and he's made it that too, straight over the black dot. So that's going to be a difficult margin for Western Suburbs to peg back. We can start celebrating out there probably in the mountain country now. I'd say no, we better not be too premature. A long way to go yet, of course. A lot can happen in a rugby league game. I recall this the Penrith under-23 side being 14-0 behind against Parramatta in the halfway through the second half at Cumberland Oval in the home and away rounds, and they won at 16-14, would you believe? You'll remember that one. That was their most glorious, I think, club round of the season. A beautiful game of rugby league, and anything's going to happen. Well, there's a spear tackle that's been effected on Langdon by two of the Western Suburbs front rowers. Cook and Kennedy picked him up bodily and turned him over and speared him into the ground, and McDonald having no hesitation in calling Cook and Kennedy out and penalising both of the boiler room men for West, and that gives Seaton a chance from inside his own quarter line to gain distance for Penrith, kicking towards the hillside scoreboard touchline. Done it well too, over halfway now into West territory. Martin coming in with the ball, tapping it, giving it on to Ducker. There's gaps in that Western Suburbs defence. I can see Penrith exploiting these given the opportunities. Ducker almost through, put down at the last moment though by West's second rower, and it goes to Foster, this time to Riley, and there's a forward pass. McDonald picking it up, and he's calling them back for it.
They're working these forward charges and crisscrosses very well, aren't they?
They are indeed, and they're coming off. They're effectively working. No mistakes being made with them, but Western Suburbs from that let's say very, very close forward pass have gained the penalty and some ground, not back to halfway yet, with Cook looking behind him for his supporting players. It's Timone coming onto the pass, but sat down bodily there by Riley and Martin. Back this time to Cook again. Cook throwing the blind and going back the blind and running straight into to Riley. Riley hanging on to him. Both the big fellas clashing with each other, but getting back heads locked together, and down he goes on their own on halfway now. Western Suburbs with the Horton, the second rower, trying to barge his way over the top of Martin. Martin underneath him though, effectively putting him to ground. There's one of the big boys from Western Suburbs, Arbor, out wide, trying to burst the West Penrith defence, but Fenton right in front of him, made sure of him. Fenton again in the tackle from that first pass off the ruck to West. Short of the quarter line, Penrith's quarter line now. Up goes McDonald's hand to indicate the last one, and it's been fed by Cook. Oh, and the gap came up there. Seaton's all on his very own. He's a try for Kennedy. Oh, Grant has picked him up beautifully. Trevor Grant, you'll go down in the history books for that one. Trevor Grant came, Kennedy was home and hosed, and Grant was outside of my binoculars. He'd come from nowhere and cleaned up this Kennedy as he went over, almost over to score. Kennedy double moved to score the try, and he's been penalised by McDonald. And so that's taken Penrith right out of danger. Well, what a great tackle. What a tackle. How about
it was a game-saving try, tackle, that was it.
Never seen the likes of it at all. And Wolf coming onto the burst there as Martin takes the free kick and gives it to him. Martin following the play now behind Wolf, getting it on to Ducker. ducker straight into the Western Suburbs forwards. They're showing a bit of Charlie now, these big burly West fellas. They're 10-2 behind, and there's a penalty against Kennedy and fullback Walsh, who spent most of his time planted up in the back row. Even when Penrith have had the ball, he seems to have been determined to get up there. So Seaton now from just inside halfway, kicking towards the hillside. Long 1-2, it's gone out into touch, and that'll mean the tap right on halfway, and with just on 10 minutes to go to the half-time break, Penrith lead Western Suburbs by 10 points to 2. Geez, that's an awful noise. Does that mean something? Are we getting somewhere?
It came over all of a sudden, and I thought I heard something. Someone talking to me. Other than you.
Any good there? That's taken the hum away, hasn't it? No, we want that noise. We're getting something. Are you getting us? We've got a high whine here at the moment. A high whine down the line. 30 seconds to go. Last ad in the first half, by the way, but there's 10 minutes to go, so I will put another one in there. I just heard. You hear it then? Nearly a voice. Who scored that? Who scored it?
Doyle, I think.
No, it's not Doyle, is it?
How did it come about?
From the scrum, they run across from the play the ball. They run across through with it.
Well, I've done it to you again. Penrith have picked up another 3-pointers in that commercial break. A beautiful bit of football from the scrum break with centre Doyle finding the split and diagonally for the corner. Western Suburbs, I don't think they're going to get into this one. I think they'll turn the heavy on too, I'd say. It'll be their only hope at this stage. So if Penrith can keep their cool, I'm sure that they're heading for the first grand final ever to go west of Parramatta in Sydney Rugby League. Jack, do you agree that West might try the strong stuff?
Oh, most assuredly, Ron. Frank, as a matter of fact, in the last couple of minutes there, I've noticed that they've given away their smart football and started to charge into the player. And hello.
Yeah, we've got you. Go on, Jack. Keep going.
And I think this is against their better judgment.
Yes,
really.
we've got you now. Thank you.
If they stick to the
Righto.
If they stick to their football, they'd be better advised. I think it's to Penrith's advantage if they keep this up.
Okay, there we are, Jack, and by goodness, it's good news if we've just happened to reach you. We've been talking our heads off here for nigh on 20 minutes, I might tell you, whilst Penrith tear away with this game in the first half. They lead Western Suburbs by 13 points to 2, an incredible margin, and we're going to take a breather at this kick-off stage with that score on the board. 13 points to 2, Penrith lead Wests. You there? You got you? Hello, you got us there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we got that wine again. We had you a minute ago. We haven't got you now, though. Oh Christ! I didn't keep the second then. Yeah, this is telecom. I want to know whether we're trying to fit in all the ads or not. Are we or not? We had you a moment ago. We're gone again. We got you? I got no idea on when I cut for that ad.
Offside.
60 seconds up. They're playing brilliant football.
Offside.
Yeah. Righto, listen. Have you had any of the program yet? No, you didn't have the early part of it though, eh? How many ads are we going to do, Cole, then? That's what I want to know. I've done all the ads from the preview right through to half time. How many should I fit in? There's 2 lots of 90 and 6 lots of 60. Have we got rid of any of them during that while you're waiting to get me? How many? How many's half? What do you mean by half? Give us a number, a definite number. You there? 6 ads to go. That's not half, that's damn near all of them. We won't fit them in before half time, you know. We'll do our best. You got the 90 seconders to go? You there? Hello, are you there? You there?
Armistice.
You there? You got us online. Western Suburbs with the ball, 25 metres, 30 metres out, ball being played. Penrith leading West by 13 points to 2 and taking control of this grand final. Western Suburbs now in possession about 30 metres out, doing it hard too, in front of the in front of the Paddington Hill stand. Last tackle there being affected on lock forward Lima, and that means the scrum to go down just outside the quarter line. The fair share of the ball being 1-2, 4-1 actually in the decided clear scrums by Martin, one of the players upon which this Penrith under-23s has risen to this glorious grand final position. Fenton, that one won by West though. Fenton dragging front rower Cook back right on the quarter line. He'll play the ball. Kennedy now getting it out along the backs to Stutfield coming off the wing. A bit of desperation creeping into the Western Suburbs attack as 5 minutes looms up to the half-time break. This time second rower Horton, there's the break again and that reverse pass. Try coming up from West. Good try from Western Suburbs. A good reverse pass tried up finally by Walsh, who spent his whole half hunting around waiting on that pass, and he got that one on that occasion. Good football all round, and he's gone over to score. Big hand being played in it by Timone too, and Horton, the two second rowers. And Western Suburbs hitting back with just 5 minutes to go to the half-time break with their first try. So the score now 13 points to 5, and this one shouldn't be beyond Walsh kicking for West to pick up the 2 points. He's about 12 metres in on the Paddington corner. He's gone back 20 metres. There's a good open look at the posts, and we have a good open look at the directional flight of this ball too. Reminding you, I'll be talking to the Minister for Justice at half-time, a keen Penrith supporter and also patron of the Penrith Rugby League Club, or the football club. That's Mr. Ron Muirlock. Very excited at the moment beside us here, and like all of us, very pleased to see Penrith hopefully on its way to its first ever grand final victory. Fine little team of footballers. As I say, I felt all through that they had the goods to win the competition, but some reservations after seeing this strong Western Suburbs perform last Saturday and putting Parramatta out of the competition and coming from behind, but Penrith far too brilliant for them so far. There's the kick from Walsh, and he's dudded that one. It's gone across the face of the goals, and so 4 minutes away from half-time, Penrith lead West by 13 points to 5. Are we in contact? You're there, studio. Listen, what are you doing, a 60-second ad? Can we sort out something on these ads, Peter? Can you talk to me, mate? Listen, mate, how many ads have we got? Are they 60-seconders? I can't hear program, Peter. That's better. Can hear it now. Oh, Jesus, this is... Yeah, mate. Well, just minutes away from the half-time break, and Penrith leading by 13 points to 5 over Western Suburbs, and Western Suburbs picking up that scrum too. They've gathered in a couple in the closing minutes of this first half to close the gap from 4-1 to 4-3 at this stage. And front rower Arbour trying to push his way through the fringe of the ruck, put the ground though. He's played the ball back to Kennedy. Kennedy quickly onto the other front rower, Cook, two of the strong men, Horton I should say, in the second row. Out it goes on this occasion to halfback Neil. Neil feeding that short pass again, delaying it a second to his centre Pearce, but Pearce bundled to the ground straight away by Blacklock, who's carrying a shoulder too, Blacklock. Well, there's the break again from west-south wide, over halfway to the winger. They've got support, there's plenty of cover defence, but plenty of Western Suburbs support too. Neil knocking it on though as the high pass comes to him. They could have been in a position to score, but it was a difficult pass, and it's been picked up by Foster, who's gone right back under his goalpost, where Stutfield has met him head on and put him to ground. So Penrith in possession right under their own goalpost, with Armitstead carrying the ball away, Stutfield carrying the ball across. Yes, good comment, Jack. They need to steady a game down at this stage.
It's only a couple of minutes to go, Frank, and surely they can see the 6 tackles out.
Or Fenton having the ball ripped out of his arms with only a minute to go from to the half-time. He tried to fend off the player as he held the ball there, and he's lost it to West, and they're just 3 metres out from the Paddington Hill corner. An opportunity for them to pick up 5 points before the break, and that would make that much more difficult for Penrith. But lock forward Lima, long pass thrown to him, not handled correctly, put the ground, and so the scrum to go down about 15 metres out. Half-time coming up, West's in a good position if they can win this scrum. They They could be dangerous. They seem to have been finding the gaps more recently in the latter parts of the first half. They certainly weren't doing so earlier, but won by Martin. Martin again saving Penrith. Foster electing to take the tackle there quietly of second rower Horton coming across an open play. Fenton going back the blind side towards the quarter line, caught by Lima and Arbour and put the ground right on that quarter line. Martin checking out his players as he goes to dummy half. Behind Fenton, looking for a ducker, but deciding he'd run on his own. He's a tricky customer, Martin. Can spear his way through that gap, steps beautifully too. He's only a short boy. On this time to Armistead. Armistead coming across the face of the rucking field, not making a lot of ground, but hanging onto the ball. Playing it now to Power. Power getting the ball away and putting it in the air with a strong kick into the open. But the Walsh back well positioned on this occasion to pick it up on his own quarter line. Wolf has followed through quickly along with Doyle, and they've got hold of Walsh and put him to ground. Ball has been played. Stutfield it is, going across field, almost to halfway from the wing position, running with a lot of determination. Very fairly tall, blonde-headed boy. Has been very much involved in the game, along with fullback Walsh for Western Suburbs. Out along the backs, orthodox passing there as it gets out for the big Burke. Big boy too, but put to ground by Wolf off his own wing. There's the half-time break. I'll be back to talk to Minister for Justice Ron Mulock and patron of the Penrith Club in just a moment. Yeah. Can you make it a bit louder, Peter, the program? I can just faintly hear it, mate. We've got a strain. If the crowd roars, I can't hear it. Can you give Ron the headphones, Jack? By the panel here, and of course, reminding you that this afternoon in the first grade match, we will have a number for you for your 2KA fixture card, and that will be worth $150 worth of Citizen Watch to the first listener who gets through to Bob Hughes, who will be on at that stage on 321200. Second half just about to start. Back with the action in a moment.
Black box there, I think.
Yeah. They'll probably keep him on for 10 minutes or so.
He's had a bad shoulder, hasn't he?
Didn't you see him out here walk away with it? Just on late in the first half.
Now surely for 35 minutes.
Yeah, that's all right. You can during the ad. You can't do anything.
Thanks, Ron.
He's gone on the wing, Blacklock, by the look of it.
Yeah, I thought he might have. Who'll come in for centre's Wolf, will he?
Grant, I suppose, or Wolfie, natural.
Looks like it.
He looks as if he could be a centre Wolf.
Oh yeah, he started off.
He's
He's
a
a great little centre in the
Went to New Zealand as a centre.
Ah,
Great tackler.
yeah, that's what I said. He
So
came
this is
in.
what they want there, then, really. And if they just tighten up their defence a little bit, they've got enough lead to really win it well.
See? Got another forward on. A good play. That forward, strong little fella. Neil.
Here we go. Western Suburbs in possession. Second half just underway with the front rower Arbour trundling his way over the top of the players, but Penrith being penalised there in that tackle on Arbour. Good tackle by Fenton too, and Foster. Pair of knees used according to McDonald, and so penalty to be taken by a Walsh for Western Suburbs, kicking towards the hillside, finding touch just over halfway. Penrith lead by 13 points to 5. They have a good hold on this game, so long as they can steady the match, as Jack Clair said just before half time. Jack, how do you see the second half?
Well, Frank, as you just mentioned, they've got enough lead to win it if only they can tighten up that defence a little bit. They weren't moving up quick enough. This was their big fault.
There's the break again, and there's Western Suburbs away with lock forward Liam striding for the try line. Put down though in the last moment. Ball still with the lock Lima as he gets up to play at 5 metres short. Oh, the gap's opened up there like the Sydney Harbour heads, and Western Suburbs have gone right up to the try line, and the ball has gone across the back line, all lost lost there by the Western Suburbs player, and it's been picked up by Penrith. The try line open again on that occasion. That was lucky for Penrith. Well, they've been off the hook twice. They're going to have to tighten it all the way down the line now and stop that gap appearing near the ruck, Jack. That's where it's been a number of times.
They're tearing through the centre there by reversing the ball back in.
The reverse pass has got them through that centre time and time again.
Set moves.
Foster, yes, a set move. Terry Hyman just commenting, a set move that they're using, and it's working. Fenton now with the ball, running straight into both of Western Suburbs' second rowers, Timone and Arbour, putting him to ground. 25 metres out. Seaton now going to put his foot to it. Long kick. Blacklock came back into the game. He's on the wing though. We did mention he was holding his shoulder in the first half. Centre Pearce for Western Suburbs, well on his own quarter line, carrying the ball back upfield, put down by Langdon in a flying tackle. Stutfield again off the wing, wanting to get into the game too at dummy half, going to centre field. Kennedy there, right on the halfway dot, feeding it onto second rower Horton. And Horton carried away about 8 metres by Martin and losing the ball as he gets up to play it. Not pulled out of his arm either, just losing it. Appealing though to his captain, I think, or to halfback Neil there about something or other, but the scrum to go down just over halfway to be fed by Foster, won by West, and Neil coming away with it quickly, but Fenton up to the job, getting across in front of him, right in centre field, 2 metres into Penrith's territory. Again, we've got Walsh up in the back line, Walsh trying to get the players going, and he's got the ball across to centre Burke. Burke put down though by Langdon again, ball being played to Kennedy onto Horton, straightening up the attack, but hit by Power. Hit by front rower Power there with plenty of power too, but they've made about a metre Western Suburbs. There's Neil with the delayed pass again, and he's picked up centre Burke coming around the blind side, and Burke's got it away to the replacement player Stone, and Cole I should say, but Cole has put the ball loosely to the ground. It's been knocked on by Western Suburbs, but West getting back into the game. They've got 8 points margin to make up, but the way they've been going in these opening 4 minutes, they're showing plenty of dash, and Penrith need to pull it together very, very tightly.
They're not moving up, Frank.
No, they're not moving up onto the player at all. Foster now feeding the scrum. Martin getting that one again. Foster, he came between the scrum and the lock forward for West, but he ran into the second rower coming out. It was Timone who grabbed hold of him. He could have been away through the narrowest of gaps, but not so. He's down now, and Armistead playing the ball just outside his own quarter line. He's got the ball out quickly there to second rower Ducker. Ducker put the ground though. He'll play it back now to Martin. Martin's going to try that run again. He's got away from Cook, but grabbed in the cover defence of Timone and Horton. Almost to halfway, well midway between halfway and quarter line in front of the hillside. It goes on then to Riley. I think Riley coming on the burst, lost him in a flurry of players, put down by Arbour. Last one, Foster with the pass, a little chip over the top into open country, and Foster's in the race for it too. It's bounced beautifully for the Western Suburb player, going back to retrieve that ball straight up into his arms at chest high, and West with the ball on their own quarter line. The first we've seen of their wing three-quarter, Marshall Rogers, now on the right wing. In front of the member stand this half, there's Stutfield, who's had plenty of the action from the left wing for West, coming right across onto the right wing position to take the pass, but put down by Walsh. He'll play by Martin. He'll play the ball into the arms of front rower Arbour, put the ground this time, lock forward Lima, getting a quick pass away to Horton. Horton trying to bash his way over the top of Fenton. Not a lot of Fenton, but he holds, there's no doubt about him. He's a good 100% tackler. Again, Neil looking out along the backs to Arbour there to lock forward Lima. Lima though caught in the tackle and wrestled to the ground. Right on halfway, Blacklock coming off the wing. That was the last one, and Lima hurt too. He's getting up on his hands and knees very slowly, just winded I think. Scrum to go down.
Blacklock back in the
And
centre.
replacement player coming on, young Holden, a young Holman coming in for Penrith.
The big boy, Frank.
Yes, a big lad. Holman plays a good game of football too, and he's going to replace Doug Riley in the front row, and a penalty there going against Western Suburbs for an incorrect feed in that scrum, and so Penrith a chance to gain some territory. So West and Penrith both now with one replacement each, and Herb Reedy, well-known identity out Penrith way, learned the whistle-blowing caper with the Penrith referees, has got the touchline in this match. He's just come on to indicate to McDonald that there has been a replacement and that Holman is in the side, and Riley out for Penrith, who lead Western Suburbs by 13 points to 5 in this grand final, but a long way to go yet. There's only been 7 minutes of play in this second half. There's the free kick taken. Martin going, Wolf getting the ball and going down the tackle. Scissors movement to Armistead. Oh, well conceived, but got away with it too because Martin was on the job to pick it up, and he split the play out wide in front of the member stand, but put down In a diving tackle there by Western Suburbs, Burke Grant. Here he comes. He's the danger man, this boy from dummy half, spearing himself in field and coming at him like locusts, the Western Suburbs forwards. Give him room to move and they know the consequences. Holman, replacement player, taking a run from the ruck position. He's 10 metres out, running to the goal post, playing it back now to Armistead, looking for support. The scissors movement to Fenton. The gap was there too, but it closed quickly. Western Suburbs have another replacement player, Fitzwalter. Fitzwalter is in there for West. Fitzwalter, we'll find the one gone for you shortly if we can. What a mouthful that is, Fitzwalter. Well, there's the tackle on Fenton, just 2 metres out from the try line, so that the scrum will go down there with the ball to be fed by Neil. McDonald getting the scrum around. Penalty to Penrith here would be a handy one, I'll tell you, but Martin's elected to win it with lightning speed again, and Foster has almost got through the tackle of Neil. Neil's dragged him back towards the try line. There's a penalty. I'd have penalised Neil there for not letting him go. He hung onto him right through the tackle, Jack.
He played the ball in the ruck and picked it up again,
yeah, he did that eventually, but Neil had him by the shirt all the time instead of letting him go. But nevertheless, it was an indiscretion, and so West, with that penalty, has got almost found territory almost to the quarter line. Ball has been played by Kennedy, and there's winger Rogers being used again for the left flank in the runaround. He's been put to ground. Back it comes this time to fullback Walsh on the ground too. Walsh though caught and put to ground. Ball has been played to Kennedy. Kennedy whistling it across to Cook. Cook feeding it back to replacement player Fitzwalter, who's been caught around the legs by Power and held by Holman. Played again, and Kennedy, the hooker for Western Suburbs, trying to run away with it. Holman again, the tackler, along with Langdon. Out it goes this time to Neil, to Cook, back to Neil. They look at 6s and 7s. They might have something going on here on their own quarter line, looking for their backs, the Western Suburbs. They've got it out too to Burke. Burke, a big striding boy. He's got first grade written all over him, this fella, in size and ability and tenacity there. Burke again getting the inside pass and making a good split, and Fitzwaller following the play. That's good attack from West there. Over halfway now with the ball. A Western Suburbs player hurt and back play being treated at the moment. Bill Pearce, the centre 3/4 for West, trying to find his way through the defence, coming back into the ruck, and that means the scrum to go around now just over halfway, and with just on 9 minutes of play gone in this second half, Penrith lead Western Suburbs by 13 points to 5. We're in business now, Peter. A lot better than the other way. I'll have a word to both of you at the end of the game.
Yeah, sure.
I watched there for those rucks, Frank, and on the left of the ruck, every time there was a great gap.
There's the ball, Luke.
Missed it.
And this is where they move the ball out, then back in.
Yeah.
You got the ball?
I think they might have the ball. No, West should have. Come on, close rank. Well, Western Suburbs turning on the pressure there, Jack, weren't they?
Oh, yes, Frank.
That gap appearing on the left-hand side of the ruck, as you said earlier, all the time.
Yes.
Ball to be fed by Foster into this scrum, just a metre out. A penalty against Foster for incorrectly feeding it off his chest. Downward motion required, and Foster didn't do that, so 10 metres in from the hillside touch, a chance for Western Suburbs to pick up 2 points, 13 points to 5 they trail, but they've elected to kick for touch. Not that it's beyond, I don't think, Walsh's ability, but they feel as though the 5 points are essential at this stage, so they kick for touch straight out, take the tap 10 metres from the Penrith line, pouring the pressure on too as Arbour tries to drag his way through, put down by Armistead. 10 metres out, Kennedy rallying his team as he gets it on to lock forward Lima. Lima not able to move it, though. That was better from Penrith. They got up very quickly to close the ranks. Holman at marker, waiting on the player. Kennedy trying to spear his way through and almost making it too. Dragged down by Fenton, a metre out. On it goes this time to Neil. Reverse pass to fullback Walsh up in the attack again. Walsh stepping back inside. He's lost the ball. Penrith could finish up with it, but it's locked forward Lima who came up with it, and it's 6 again. Well, Penrith making a few mistakes now they can well afford to do without. Neil getting it out along the back line, and Doyle moved up there quickly. It's been knocked on him, that one, I think. But yes, McDonald has picked it up. A very, very close knock on. Ball went to ground. The Western Suburbs player put his hand to it. Might have bounced it forward a fraction only, but was put forward so that the scrum will set itself 5 metres out from the Penrith try line, and Martin limping into this scrum too. I don't think he's won it though. And Foster again looking for that gap between Lima and the ruck, but he's not finding it. Lima pushing him back into the second row as breaking out of the scrum. However, with the ball now, Penrith getting it out to Holman on the hillside, 20 metres out from Penrith's try line. 2 tackles gone and 4 to go. No wonder these referees can't count 6 of them in every tackle bracket in a game. It's almost impossible to keep your mind on that.
Can't concentrate on everything.
You just can't do it. It's almost an impossibility. There's the ball in centre field, and a penalty going against Western Suburbs for Biff being used in the tackle there. Player coming back after McDonald spoke to him as he walked by. It was fullback Walsh, an experienced footballer who no doubt not too happy to be on the losing end of the scoreline at this stage against a club that has never yet figured in a grand final, I suppose. But there's a good kick from Seaton. I thought Seaton may have been replaced in the second half. He's done nothing wrong, of course. Just that Jennings would be used as a fresh player, but Seaton's still out there, and Penrith with 1 replacement player only so far. Holman has come on to replace Doug Riley in the front row.
He's had a very good game, Frank.
Yes, he has had a beaut game, Seaton. Across it goes to Holman on that occasion from Foster. Put the ground on halfway by Kennedy. Into the hands again of Foster. A short pass to Armistead, who's tried to move around the player coming up onto him, but not able to do so. Caught Foster through the gap though. Foster's away. He's got the fullback to beaten. Plenty of support. He's got it on the black lock, and there it goes. Wolf's going to score in that corner. Paddington corner, I think. No. He's caught by a double movement from Wolf. He was over the try line with the ball, but the McDonald on the job. Western Suburbs on one occasion had the same thing happen to them right under the goalpost, a double movement. Wolf was dragged down a metre short.
Inexperienced there.
Yeah, inexperienced.
I think they'd have scored there if he got up and played.
If he'd got up and played it, they're 5 points and the thing shot to pieces. But there it is. Double movement from Kenny Wolf has given the Western Suburbs a penalty right on their own try line in the Paddington corner. It's left one of the Western Suburb players out cold too. We'll find out who he is in a moment in that tackle. It was a desperation dive from him. 10 metres out, Wes Kennedy in the run around there with Cook. Put the ground. It's a second rower Timone for Western Suburbs and down and being treated. We probably get a replacement player. We've got Ducker off now too, and a replacement Penrith player
the same number.
Up the player coming in. I can see Ducker going off, but I haven't got him coming in yet. Well, they want to get a player in. Oh, they've got him in. I've got him now.
Barriston, 20, is it?
Dave Hall, Ross Fagan it is. Ross Fagan has come into the game for Penrith now, replacing Ducker in the second row, so that the ball will be played now to Lima. And on it goes to Arbour. Arbour going down in a flurry of forwards. Fagan getting himself into the action there as quickly as he can. On the blind side now to Walsh. Walsh is going to look for touch. A good kick too. He's put it along the ground on the blind side and right on the quarter line. Penrith end of the round. Time ticking away. 20 minutes remaining in the match, and a difference now of 8 points. 13 points to 5. Penrith lead. And certainly not out of the woods by any means. They haven't been as tight in the second half as they were in the first half. They need to put on another point to try. Western Suburbs has won that, and Burke has broken away in centre defence. The Western Suburbs, and he's thrown the ball loosely to the support that he thought was there, and Penrith have come up with it. Western Suburbs centres haven't performed anywhere near as well today as they did last Saturday against Parramatta. In fact, a couple of occasions they've spoiled an opportunity, a definite try-scoring opportunity as that one was, but there we are. Wolf now out on the flank in front of the scoreboard side, getting the pass back inside to Fagan. Fagan picking it up too well, but caught behind by Fitzwalters and put to ground. Won by West in that scramble though. Knocked on both ways, says McDonald. It was raked back in the ruck by Western Suburbs, and hands went down for it and knocked on in both directions. So the scrum to pack at 20-30 metres out. Martin's being called out and spoken to, as is Loch Lima for Western Suburbs. Scrum to pack about 30 metres out from the Penrith try line, and with 19 minutes to go to the full-time mark here, Penrith lead West by 13 points to 5. Who got him? Langdon it was.
Doyle's missing in the
Peter,
centre
how many-
quite a bit. Yeah.
Is that the third 60-second break we've had? I'm trying to get him over it. Peter? Second, righto. I want to sort of keep a free run for the end of the game if it gets tight, see? Okay.
It's very easy not to step aside and beat them, isn't it?
Yeah.
We should be playing out wide.
Oh.
Too much forward.
Nowhere to go, didn't know what he was doing.
Good, Ray.
Ray will score if he can get to that ball.
Well, he just kicked it a bit far away to tell.
The scrum to go down 18 minutes from full time in the under-23s. Penrith leading by 13-5 to be fed by Foster. 12 metres out from the Penrith try line. Won again by Martin. Oh goodness, he's had a big hand in this scoreline advantage by Penrith. Martin with possession of ball at the right time.
Certainly making a big difference.
Oh, say it is. They're able to rely on him getting his share when he needs it too. Armistead taking the tackle right on the quarter line underneath the goal post. From Fagan out it goes to Holman. Holman tearing into the tackle there of Horton, who tried to drag the ball out of his arms, but he's hung onto it. Martin running away from dummy half, making a few yards. That's about 4 tackles gone, I'd say, and that's 6 for Penrith. Back it goes to Seaton. He's going to kick across field towards the members' stand. It's a beautiful kick too. From in front of the scoreboard hillside, he put the ball right across field with the fullback Walsh not at home again, and Rogers, the winger, not able to get back quick enough for it. So the scrum has come over to the members' side, just inside of Western Suburbs territory by about 5 metres, fed there by the Western Suburbs. Won again by Martin, and it's gone out to Langdon at 5'8". Langdon slipping over on the bulleye patch, dry however, but he's not able to get his footing there. Seaton up in fullback to Blacklock to Grant, getting into the game now. Grant, though, running into a wall of black and white jumpers. They moved straight in front of him as soon as the flying winger came into the game. Walsh up there in the marking position, fullback for Western Suburbs. On to Fagan, who's getting into the match quickly too. He's made his presence felt in the few minutes he's been in there, replacing second rower Ducker.
Good
Foster
play.
getting it away this time to Seaton, who's moved into the attack again. 22 metres out. Penrith must be near the last one for them. 13 points to 5 they lead. First grand final ever coming up if they can cling to it over the remaining 15 minutes. Well, there's a good break from...
Beautiful.
A good break from Wolf, and the ball has gone back to Fenton underneath the goal post there. 10 metres out now with Martin setting up the play. On it goes to Langdon to Blacklock. Blacklock looking his draw. He's run across the face of Doyle there. Couldn't get the ball to Doyle at all, and knocked it on in the process. That was a misunderstanding between both of the centres. Blacklock has come back into the centre too after an injury in his shoulder in the first half. He came back on the wing in the early part of the second half. But back in the centre again, fed this time by Neil. One well there by front rower Power, responsible for that one. He pulled the ball right out of Neil's hands and back through the scrum and gave it to Penrith, 10 metres out. Armistead feeding it on to Fenton. Chance here. Ball out wide. Oh, it's gone to ground and nobody. Western Suburbs have come up with it 15 metres out. But knocked on both ways, says McDonald, and the scrum to go down 22 metres out from the Western Suburbs try line. 15 minutes of play remaining in this under-23s grand final, the first event of this afternoon's series of 3 grand finals here to end the 1978 Sydney Rugby League season. Fed by Neil, one well by Kennedy of Western Suburbs, out to Walsh in the back line, and he's got an extra amount of backs there, but Burke, the centre, picking up the pass through the 5'8", has been put to ground by Fenton. He'll play it back to Neil. On it goes quickly to Stutfield, getting in the action again from the left flank, right near the 5'8" position. They need to tighten up in field there, Penrith. There's plenty of gaps. Another one appearing, and Cook's looking for it too. It's gone out wide to Kennedy, who slipped over under Martin's tackle though. There's the ball being played right on the bulleye patch, and it's Walsh breaking through, and he's got it on there to lock forward Lima. Lima making a good break almost to the quarter line. He's been collared literally by Blacklock round the neck and dragged to ground. He'll play it back to Kennedy. Out along the backs it goes to Arbour. Arbour out wide on the quarter line, running into the crush between 2 of the Penrith forwards. And to ground he goes, put down heavily by Fagan. Back to Walsh. He's going to put it in the air from 22 metres out. Out it goes halfway. Taken by Seaton. And Seaton's got a bit of room to move in there too. He's been picked up and got the pass in to Martin. Martin's got support and plenty of speed. My God, he only needed to get it inside there to Blacklock.
Penalty,
Wasn't supporting
penalty,
him, and they're home
penalty
and
to
hosed,
Penrith.
but there's a penalty
Stutfield
against the
came
Western
in late.
Suburbs player. Stutfield it was who got the Martin. Martin's got a turn of speed. He was hemmed in on the touch line, going down towards the paddock corner, over halfway with Blacklock inside of him. But a flying tackle from Stutfield dragged him out of the air before he could get the passing clear.
Certain try there, Frank, if he turns it inside.
No way in the world that Jack can they be stopped from putting it down under the goalpost if that ball comes back inside. Well, the kick has been taken by Penrith now. That penalty on, I couldn't pick up the reason for that penalty, Jack. Did you get it?
Second,
Yeah, right,
late tackle.
Second tackle,
Late tackle.
Late tackle in that one on Martin. So there you are, Penrith in possession still, 30 metres out, ball going out to Power, trying to bullock his way past Arbour, but dragged back and put to ground in front of the goalpost and about 30 metres out. Playing it there to Langdon, going around Foster in the run around, throwing the dummy to back in field to Langdon, but getting it onto Holman. Holman, though, put to ground by Cook. He's a solid and burly bloke, this front rower for Western Suburbs. He's built like a tree trunk from the ankles up to the neck, I'll tell you. Armitstead coming on the burst now and straight into the tackle of Kennedy. Armitstead put to ground. He's been the steadying influence with his experience for Penrith, Jack.
Oh, yes.
Fenton now with a little chip over the top in the open country behind the centres. They're a little slow getting back, but quick enough to claim the ball for West. But McDonald has got something to say there. A player has been interfered with. And a late tackle after the kick had been put through, and Neil's going over to be spoken. Neil being called over to be spoken to, the halfback for West, so that Lima, I should say, the late tackler in that occasion, the lock forward and captain for West, and this gives a seat, an opportunity to snatch 2 more points. They could be the points needed just to push Penrith beyond the danger zone. 13-5, 1 converted try from West, and it's anybody's game. But these 2 points, 15-5, mean West have to score twice and convert twice to be able to even draw level, and that's going to be quite an effort for them in 12 minutes or 11 minutes of football. So Seaton now with the ball on the mound, and Penrith player okay after that late tackle. Seaton putting the ball down, taking stock of all the performances, of course, so that we can decide which one of these Penrith under-23 players will pick up the Zenith EM camera, valued at $135 to $150, for courtesy of Walton's Direct Film Service. Good place to do your photography business, I might tell you, at the back of Walton's store. Seaton now coming into the ball. We've got a good side on it. He's made no mistake with it either. Straight over the black dot, and Penrith travelling much better now, leading Western Suburbs by 15 points to 5. I think that might just put it in there. Yes, mate. Okay.
Number 16, Steve West for West, is replacing number 10.
Timone. West on.
Sheens is on too, isn't he?
Hey?
Sheens is on.
Sheens on.
I think so.
Yes.
Where's he playing, on the wing? No, he couldn't.
Be on for Blacklock?
Oh, there he is. He's on for Blacklock. Righto. Oh, that's more important.
Here's he go.
Western Suburbs with the ball now after a good attacking break from Penrith. Ball lost at the last moment though in a desperation pass. So West over halfway on the bullwhite patch, right in centre. Barber going to ground. Sheens on in replacement for Captain Blacklock, injured in the first half. I didn't think Blacklock would see the whole half through, but he hung on till this 10th minute from the final. Grant picking up a short kick from Western Suburbs and going back across towards the right flank in front of the scoreboard hill. Crashing straight into Fitzwalters too, and both of them going to ground.
Not afraid to get into them.
No, he's not one little bit afraid, Jack. He's not built like a bullock either, but he'll run straight into them. Armistead taking the pass and taking on Kennedy, and another replacement Western Suburbs player there. We'll get him for you in a moment. West is his name, another replacement. Naturally not up to date with all of these under-23 reserves. Foster getting the ball from the play the ball, getting across the back line, looking for Fagan. Fagan dragged the ground by Walsh. Fullback for Western Suburbs, who's played more like an extra 5'8" throughout the game. Foster from dummy half, trying a little kick again. It's bounced straight off the Western Suburbs player. back into the arms of Martin following the ball, and he was hooked around the neck in that one, but 6 again going to Penrith as he gets slowly to his feet to play it short of the halfway mark. Armistead wide of the ruck, and it goes there to Fenton.
Nice.
He's got the
There's
gap,
a go.
Fenton. In the support, he's
Give
only
it.
got to get it out now.
Give
It's going to be a try. Oh, he hung on 2 paces too long, and the winger had it, Doyle had it all at his mercy from 15 metres out. He hung on 2 paces too long, and the pass went over over the head of the supporting player Doyle, with a tackler hitting him at that moment.
Another certainty.
Oh, another certainty bombed on that occasion. Then there's a penalty in the set scrum though against West for an incorrect feed. 8 minutes away from, it's front rower Cook who's being penalised, and it's a very dejected looking West 8 minutes from the finish. I think they've decided the time is up. They've got a real job on their hands to pick up the money now. Seaton naturally electing to find the 2 points, and Captain Peter Lima has had something to say to McDonald, not appreciated by the referee either. He's called him over in rather agitated manner, and halfback Neil calling Lima back from the play. Well, Lima feels as though he's been got at. I can't sympathise with him. Penrith for mine have been the better side, and those penalties against Western Suburbs in these 2 goal kicking positions have been well deserved, I think. McDonald right on the spot. I agree with my learned referee, senior referee friend, who claims that McDonald is one of the best at it. No frills or fancies, but right on the job and knows his rules and doesn't make any mistakes with them. Seaton now, ball on the mound, right on the quarter line, 10 metres in from touch. Kicking again at a good angle for us to sight the ball. Has the scoreboard behind him, kicking towards the Paddington goalposts. He could put the game beyond doubt with 7 to go. There it is from Seaton. And it's hit the goalpost and bounced back into the field of play, and Penrith have come up with a 2, I might tell you, with Langdon trying to bubble his way through the West defence. He's almost made it from 10 metres out. On it goes this time to Fagan, coming on the burst and to play the ball. Put down a metre out though, right near the goalpost. Martin quickly infield to Armistead, and the blind pass back to Seaton. Oh, they waited on Seaton there. There were 2 dummies in that movement, and Seaton came charging through, put down by Fitzwater. Martin's going to score a beautiful try.
That's it.
I don't want to influence you fellas, but I think I know who might pick up the camera this afternoon. A glorious try from Hooker Martin. He just dragged himself out of 2 tackles with sheer determination and tore over to score the try. And out west you'll be seeing your first ever grand final rugby league pennant. Home to roost in Penrith Club, and he's a team of youngsters, all from the Penrith junior ranks, who could certainly establish what could become fine Penrith tradition. What a great team of players, Jack.
Grant, that was a great try, just at the right moment. We know he's ability, he's likely to do this at any time, but he gets out of the tackle so easily, and he's such a quick little fellow. As you said, there wasn't anything between about 3 of them there, I think, for that trophy, but I think that missed about 3 of them.
Indeed it does, and Cook, the front rower, and I'd say the most senior player in that Western Suburbs side, got him in a circle and having a lot to say. If I could lip read, I reckon my ears would turn red, I'll tell you. But there it is, it's all over and done with, I'd say now, 5 minutes away from full time, with Seaton about to make it 20 points to 5 against Western Suburbs in favour of this very brilliant Penrith combination. They are a good side indeed. Another replacement player coming on here for Penrith, just to get a taste of the action for the last 5 minutes. Seaton's made no mistake with it, straight over the black dot. Penrith with this one sewn up, 5 minutes away from full time. They lead by 20 points to 5. Who are they taking on for?
We can relax now.
Yeah.
It's over.
10.
Who is it?
Wayne, is it Wayne Ducker?
No, no, it's the front rower out. It's Power out.
Nick Power.
I don't know who this. It's not Gorm. It's Davey Hall. Davey Hall. Terry, I'm going to take the first grade too, just to keep. When we half time, 10 take it. I think that answers over. West are bringing in the big gun too, is that 22? You got it there? 22. Ryan.
Steve Ryan.
Foster. He'll score this kid. Foster will score. No, he won't. Burke's going to pick him up. Well, what a brilliant try.
He's a good player.
Well, halfback Foster over 75 metres of country, a solo burst from a blindside and a scrum on his own quarter line has been put down by Western Suburbs centre Burke, 1 metre out from the scoring a try in the Paddington Hill corner. 75 metres of country he covered, and he had 1 foot on the white chalk line all the way down, Jack, didn't he? And pushing himself like nobody.
He couldn't move with that ball when they won the scrum, Frank.
Scrum has been won though, and Foster put the ground, couldn't move with it, no, and he's got it back to Dave Hall, who's come into the game for the last 5 minutes now to replace Power. So we've had the 3 replacement players. Martin's done it again. Martin's pushed his way through the score, and Cook's going to get himself sent off. Cook's being called out. He's had a lot to say there. I'd say Cook's going to find himself in the dressing shed.
Yes,
he's gone, I think, or he's being warned he'll go. He gave McDonald a mouthful of cheek there, and McDonald indicating any more of it, and he can find himself sitting in the dressing shed.
Of course it was a try. You can see
yes, he just pushed his way straight over the top of them and put the ball down. Well, gentlemen, have you made a decision on the camera?
Yes, I think so.
Sort of sorted itself out, has it?
Foster came back well into it there just for a minute, Frank.
Foster came back into it for a moment, according to Ron, but it's going to go to hooker forward Steve Martin for an absolutely superb display of rugby league in all departments: hooking, open play, dummy half work. And young Martin will find himself all the better now with $150 worth of Zenit EM camera to take some snaps with during the summer months and during the winter months too. Congratulations to him. He's been a fine little performer.
Very determined little guy, Frank.
Isn't he, Jack?
This is what makes champions.
Yeah. We took him to New Zealand in 1975 and he pushed him apart over there. Well, Seaton has put that one wide of the uprights from a fairly easy position, but I suppose the pressure's all off him now with 2 minutes to go. Penrith with this one in hand, 23 points to 5. Where'd Big Cliff go? Going down over a bit. There's no tab in here, is there? Right, mate. Yeah. I won't ask you questions, Ron. I'll just ask you to comment. Okay. Go for break. Say all the things you want to say.
Oh, beautiful.
Go! Score, he's too fast. Ah, they got him.
They're all over it now.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you, when you feel that you've got a game sewn up, how confidently you play. I suppose then on the other hand, West have turned it up.
Yeah, they have. I don't know. Can hear it loud and clear now.
Had to be.
Well, Penrith finishing here all over the top of Western Suburbs. Everything they do's got gold written all over it, believe me. 23 points to 5 they lead, and as Jack just commented, Western Suburbs naturally tending to turn it up in the latter stages with the game going against them and confidence just oozing out of the Penrith combination. They've got it sewn up completely. First grand final pennant ever to go Penrith's way, and there's Terry Hydeman doing a war dance out of his seat beside me. Steady it down, Terry. Celebrate tonight, mate. Seaton getting the ball on the mound, and he's about 35 metres back from the try line.
Frank, I wasn't too well when you picked me up this morning.
You're feeling good now.
I'm smiling everywhere.
Good on you, Jack. Jack's forgotten all about it now, and quite elated, of course, having had a year involved with coaching Penrith. Very much inside with them. I think the final hooter has just sounded as Seaton endeavours to put the flags up from a penalty goal from a long way out. I think he might be going to make the money with it. No, it's fallen short into the arms of Western Suburbs, who will make one last sally to pick up, 18 points in one movement. I don't think they're going to do it, though. It's gone out to Burke. Burke deserves to be the last man with the ball. He's had a strong game for West. It's all over. And Penrith have come out of this one with their first grand final win ever by defeating Western Suburbs 23 points to 5. Comments in a moment from both Mr. Jack Clair and Mr. Ron Mulock. But first of all, after this message, statistics. Cut it up? Yeah.
Nick, he's going off, Nick. Now I can see him.
What's he doing?
He's going really berserk, Mick. Look at him, there he goes, up.
We are the Panthers wearing brown and white, stout-hearted men. Bold and
Ian Maurice out there, all
right?
smiles.
Just summarise
Well, it's a very elated Penrith camp going over to the rostrum to receive the under-23s pennant to be presented right now, and Ian Maurice out there with all the other officials of that team. Mickey Hardis completely in orbit, I'll tell you. He's on cloud nine, this bloke. His first ever stint at first grade coaching. He's done a lot of representative coaching with Cabramatta boy. Played football with him and against him myself many years ago in the Villawood Guildford competitions, or the Parramatta competitions, but he deserves it, Mick. Congratulations to you, and a big cheer going up from the crowd. A great effort from Penrith to pick up their first grand final premiership ever in Sydney Rugby League since the club came into this status of game of football in 1967. Well, let's have a look at the statistics. In the scrum department, Martin, who won the big award, the EM Zenit camera from Waltons, won the scrums by 12-8 over the Western Suburbs Hooker Kennedy, led them 5-3 at half time, and then picked them up by 8-6 in the second half, by 7-5 in the second half, winning them overall by 12-8. In the penalty department, finally Penrith's way by the odd penalty, 10-9. Host of changes made, each side allowed to have 4, and for Penrith, Riley and Ducker and Blacklock and Power all came off, and Coleman went on, Fagan went on, Sheens went on, and finally Dave Hall went on, all to get a taste of grand final football. West made 3 or 4 replacements as well. Goal kicking, Seaton for Penrith picked up 4 out of 9. Not a bad effort, because some of them were close misses. He hit the upright with one, and they were 4 that counted anyway, whilst for the Western Suburbs, West fullback Walsh, 1 out of 2. Penrith picked up 5 tries, and some of them glorious pieces of work too, and missed 3 by the skin of their teeth, believe me. 3 others they could have scored. Seaton, Langdon, Doyle and Martin twice in the second half going over to score tries. Seaton kicking 4 goals, 2 in each half. And the 4 Western Suburbs, all their points coming in the first half, Walsh a try and a goal to Walsh. So there it is, a history-making moment for Rugby League out Penrith way anyway. The first grand final pennant in Senior League goes to the Penrith under-23s, who are now doing their lap of honour. And I'm going to talk in a moment to Minister for Justice and patron of the club out our way, of course, Ron Mueller, who's as elated as the rest of us. Yeah, mate.
There'll be some celebrations up at the club tonight.
We've got to do one, haven't we?
Yeah, they've got to do one.
Where did Mickey Hardis play, Frank? What position did he play?
What position did Mickey Hardis play?
Frank?
What position did halfback play?
Half. Played half of that side, I cased in 59. Okay, well, they're doing their lap of honour now. The Penrith Panther giants, and I mean giants in every sense of the word. They mightn't be big in stature, but they've got plenty of heart, and today plenty of credibility after that grand win in this first grand final for 1978. Ron, your thoughts on it?
Oh, well, it was a really tremendous win, Frank. I know we were all a bit concerned the first 10 minutes or a quarter of an hour after half-time when they seemed to loosen up a bit around the edge of the rucks, but overall, once they got